Hi there, my name is Kate and I'm a volunteer at the Renton History Museum. February is Black History Month, so today I'm going to show you an art project inspired by Alma Thomas, one of the major American artists of the 20th century. If you're not familiar with Thomas's work, here are some examples. These paintings you see here are a part of the collection of the Smithsonian American Art Museum. Born in 1891, Alma Thomas was the first graduate of the Howard University Fine Arts program. After teaching art in schools for 35 years, Thomas became a full-time artist in the 1960s, going on to be the first African-American woman to have a solo exhibition at the Whitney Museum of American Art. In 2015, Ms. Thomas's painting, Resurrection, was purchased for the White House, making it the first work by an African-American woman to be placed on view in the public spaces of the White House as part of the permanent collection. The painting from the White House, Resurrection, is actually the inspiration for today's art project. Here are the supplies you'll need for today's project. You'll need a piece of art paper. I'm just using one for my regular acrylic painting pad. This art project works best if you have it in the shape of a square, so I've cut mine down to size. Acrylic paint in any colors that you want. Somewhere to put your paint, such as a palette like this one. You'll also want a paintbrush like this, a cork. And you can see on this cork, I've cut the cork down to be a smaller size at one of the ends. This is not necessary, but if you want to do that, you can use a box cutter like this, or an X-Acto knife, or just a really sharp knife. You'll also want a container of water like this one for cleaning off your paintbrushes and your cork. The first step will be to put a circle in the center of your piece of paper, like this, with any color paint of your choice. I went with a light green. Next, mix the color for the first color surrounding that center circle. I'm going to be using purple, mixing my blue and red paints together to make that color. Next, you're going to want to use your cork as a stamp to stamp circles around that center circle you painted, starting with that first color you mixed. After you finish that first circle, set up the color for your next circle. I'm going to be using red. After that, repeat the stamping process. Keep using new colors for the circles using that cork stamp until you reach the edge of your paper. Stamp with paint until you've filled the whole paper with painted circles or squares. Set aside your artwork and allow it to thoroughly dry. And there you have it, a piece of art inspired by Alma Thomas's expressionist work. If you'd like to learn more about Alma Thomas, you can find more information and images of her work on the websites of the Smithsonian Museum of American Art, the Studio Museum in Harlem, and the National Museum of Women in the Arts. Thank you for joining me today. See you next time.